Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode 9 of War Robots, but it revolves around Cossak. In this video, I'm going to be covering the recent things that have been happening on the test server, because there are a lot of them, and they're very important additions to the game, and very important balancing. So, let's get into it, without further ado, I guess. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the balancing that they've done to the Hawk. And I've been on the test server and I've actually tested the Hawk. And I gotta say that the balancing that they did was actually perfect. Because the Hawk from the beginning, they described it as a Titan counter. But instead it countered everything. That's what made it the best robot in the game. It made it very overpowered, therefore unbalanced. So what they did is that they made it so that it bypassed 50%, or did 50% as much damage as it used to normal robots, if I understand it right. And that its reflector wouldn't be there the whole time. It would be like the Aojun, where it would, when it's flying up or landing, it would not have the reflector. That's how it should have been from the beginning, in my opinion. And that makes its laser beam very balanced now, because now it actually is a true Titan counter, and not just an everything counter. And back to what I was saying in my video where I ranked all the robots. Turns out I was right, because they did nerf the Hawk. I was saying that you probably shouldn't get robots that are in the top 3 of S tier, because they're most likely to get nerfed because they're very powerful. And I was right, because they also nerfed the Scorpion, it turns out. This is also a very good, I guess, update, or a very good nerf that they've done. They've made it have, I think, 35% resistance instead of 50 in its ability. And that's how it should have been in the start again, because the Scorpion is that you have the Scorpion's thing is that it I guess you teleport, and then you have to have the advantage, because it's your ability. If you teleport and you don't have an advantage over the enemy, then what's the point of having an ability? So that's why they added the resistance to it, so that it would have a buff, it would be stronger. But they added too much. 50% resistance was too much. It just made it pretty much unstoppable. So lowering it down to 35% resistance still makes it very strong and competitive, for that matter. But it doesn't make it like ridiculously overpowered like how it was. So very good nerf to the Scorpion. Very good job. Next is a nerf to the Nightingale. They nerfed its healing. They nerfed how much it can heal and how fast it flies. In my opinion, they had the right idea nerfing the Nightingale, but they didn't do a good job on how they tried to nerf it. You see, the Nightingale's a support robot. That's its role. That's what it's supposed to be. And the way it would support is that it flies up in stealth, so it's safe, and then it flies up and heals its teammates. So decreasing the amount that it heals kind of defeats the purpose. Of course, it heals its teammates a lot, but I think that's okay, because that wasn't the problem with the Nightingale. The problem was that it flew for way too long, and it had its ability way too often. So I think that instead of nerfing how fast it can fly and the amount that it can heal, I think that the best thing to do instead of this would have been to nerf its flight time and how long it took for it to fly. So I think that some good figures for this would probably be nerf its ability cooldown, make its cooldown about 2 to 3 seconds more. that would make it so that it would be that it wouldn't fly ridiculously fast. It would give the player attacking a little bit more of a gap to hit it, but it won't make it like useless to where it would never have its ability. I think that would be where it would be in a good spot. And nerfing its flight time, so the amount of time that it flies, by I guess 2 to 3 seconds too, because it flew forever. You thought the Hawk's like flying ability was long. The Nightingale has the longest ability of any robot in the game. And of course I'm not counting Titans as robots, because then the Yao Ming would have the longest. But it flew forever. So I think instead of 2 or 3 seconds, we're already nerfing. I'm already suggesting a nerf to its ability cooldown. So I'm thinking more like yeah, I think that 2 to 3 seconds is good for it, because its cooldown is already going to be nerfed. Maybe that would be a good starter nerf, and then maybe Pixonic could see how it would do after that. And if it's still very good, then maybe up it to 4 seconds. That's my opinion on the Nightingale nerf. But now we're moving on to Corker, Atomizer, and Nucleon nerf. I think that these were good nerfs. They were needed. Those weapons were very, very strong. Very good nerf. And how they nerfed it was that they made it from 1 second interval, or one interval, to 1.5. I don't know if it was one, like between shots, one interval between shots, and they upped that to 1.5. I couldn't really see how good it was at a test server. It seemed like it fired like way slower. I guess that's what 1.5 does. It makes it way slower. 0.5 is actually a lot of time in the time that Atomizer fires. And that's like a 50% nerf if you think about it. I think that's a bit large of a nerf. Maybe they should have done 1.3 or 1.2. But I think that's a bit too much. But it was a nerf that was needed. We'll see how it does. I think that they did a very good job with this nerf, but I think that the idea was very good and they weren't that far off. So good job for that, Pixonic. And the next thing is not nerfs, it's new robots and new weapons. So I'm gonna start with the new weapons here. We have the Hornet, the heavy version of Wasp. In my opinion, it was too strong. So I think that the way to make it balanced before it gets on a live server and it ruins the meta and stuff, I think that the best way to balance it is to make it so that each shot does about, let's say, 10% less damage, or 15%. And that'll be a good spot for it, because it does a lot of damage. I would get shot by it like twice. I would get hit twice by like 2 Hornets, and I get lowered to like 60% durability or 70. And in my opinion, for 2 shots, that's a lot, but it's not like terribly a lot. It's a heavy weapon after all, so it should do a lot of damage. So I think that 10%, a little nerf like 10% or 15%, would be good. It's not that much, not that strong, but it's still too strong. The next weapon is Magnetar, whatever it's called. The light version of Pulsar. This is also a little bit too strong. Not terribly too strong, but I think that it does almost as much damage as the Pulsar does. So I think that a good way to nerf this is that it fires for a little bit longer than Pulsar. That makes it a little bit weird, so maybe make them fire for the same amount of time. So that would be a nerf to the Magnetar. I can't say it right. I don't know how to say it right. And make it so that it would yeah, basically that's basically it for the Magnetar actually. Make it fire for the same amount of time as Pulsar. Then after that, maybe it would need like a 5% less damage on each shot, or 10%, something little like that. But I think that the making it fire for less time would be a good thing, good enough. I think it might still do very good. Let's see. And then we also have the new robot. I already forgot its name. Basically, it's a mini Nodens. Nodens crossed with a Scorpion, I guess. Crossed with a Pantheon robot. But what it is that it teleports to a friendly teammate, and then it starts healing, and it activates an Absorber shield, which is a shield that an Ares has, or a Hades, or a Nemesis. So it's invincible, and then it throws back the damage in the form of your firepower. So I don't know if it actually throws back the damage, like actually like absorbs it. I don't know about that, but I think that's a little bit weak, this robot. It is a support robot. It does its support role very well. But I think that a good way to make it stronger and not make the Absorber shield like very powerful is to lower its cooldown by 2 seconds and make it so that its ability lasts 1 second less. So make it so that it has its ability more often, but make its ability less powerful. That way the Absorber shield won't like make people really mad and won't be very overpowered. And so that it would be able to heal its teammates more overall and teleport to places more overall. I think that would be a good way to make it better and make it balanced too. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I guess you could call it. And yeah, that's basically all that there is on the test server. I think that another thing that they should nerf would probably be the sonic weapons, the Scatter, Havoc, and Devastator, because they are very strong. Of course, they're like shotgun type weapons. In my opinion, they're shotguns. People don't call them shotguns, but they're very good close range guns, and they do less damage over a far range So they're shotguns. They're very strong shotguns, and basically what they do is that when you get hit by them, 100% of the blah blah blah, the damage that you get hit by them is unhealable. So I think that if you nerf that to 65% or 70% of the damage that they do to you is unhealable, then that would make it a little bit more balanced, and make the damage in between shots, or make the time in between shots, like, I don't know the exact numbers on them. Maybe make it like 0.5 more, or I don't know. Yeah, 0.5 more would probably be good, so that they would fire slower, and so that they would do less you know, of the damage not healing, basically. And another honorable mention that they should probably nerf would be the Gauss, Weaver, and Volt. These weapons don't need it that much. They're not like that overpowered. They're actually pretty good just the way they are. But just an idea is that they do bypass all the resistance, and that is a problem. It shouldn't be that way. That resistance should just be nothing. Shouldn't be worth anything. So I think that basically how they should nerf this is that they should make it bypass like 80% of the resistance, or 65, like I said, or 70, like I said with the sonic shotguns, only with resistance bypassing. So that's what I think about that. I don't think that there's anything else out of hand. Nothing's really out of hand in this game. I probably shouldn't have said that. I think that they've done pretty good with the balancing so far. And the fact that that Pixonic is balancing out these overpowered robots is a good thing. And so I'm just going to talk about the gameplay now. That's all I have to say about the test server. As you can see, we're getting whipped pretty hard. Ao Ming technically just killed us. Looks like it's going to be 2 losses in this video, sorry. But I think that we fought pretty well while the game was even. We're in our Leo now. No one's really in my range yet. Then with my Pinatas, I'm just single firing the Thunder. Oh, another thing actually is that the normal shotguns, they're way too like at least the medium and the lights, they're way too weak right now. Like, and Orkins, like old weapons like that. So for the light shotguns, they empty way too fast. So I think that make the shots in between them, like in between the shots, like slower. So like 0.5 or 1 more. Because that's technically a nerf, it actually makes it better because you could control it better. And give them like 1 or 2 shots before they start firing slower. That would make it pretty balanced. And the medium shotguns, they should probably put like 1 shot or 2 shots more before they run out. That's also a good thing. And Orkins, it just doesn't do any damage overall. So I guess that's their place, right? They're not supposed to be a good weapon. Because we've got the freezing rockets, which are supposed to be better. That's why they were added. But anyway, yeah, that was me talking about the test server video. Progress is getting really slow right now, sorry. But I'm hoping to pick up the progress again. And complete this series as soon as possible. But yeah, like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Do new things, rebellious things. Bye bye.